The Maine Drug Enforcement Agency says a Kennebunk man who stands accused of manufacturing meth in One Pot Laboratories has been arrested. 46-year-old Chad Roper was taken into custody yesterday afternoon and charged with unlawful operation of a methamphetamine laboratory following a traffic stop on McGuire Road, according to authorities. The Maine DEA said its agents have responded to multiple dump sites in Kennebunk and Wells over the past 6 months. At those sites, agents found plastic bottles that were used in the manufacturing of One Pot meth labs. A One Pot meth lab is a portable laboratory that is used to create smaller batches of meth in a shorter amount of time than traditional methods. One Pot labs are considered extremely dangerous as the ingredients form a volatile compound that can ignite and explode.